I've got 10 Cricut Design Space tips and tricks to share with you today that will speed up your creativity. No fluff at all. Let's just dive right in. Let's talk about duplicating images. I have this image on my canvas of a flower with a smiley face in it, and I want to make 9 copies of it. There are 2 ways I could do that. I could select the image and click the plus sign underneath it for duplicate and duplicate that image 9 times. Now when I go to cut, I will get 9 items on my canvas to be cut. But there's another way that's a lot faster. So I'm going to go ahead and select everything but one of my images and delete. And then I'm going to go to Make in the upper right corner. Then up in the left corner, you'll see Project Copies. You can use the up arrow to increase or the down arrow to decrease the number of copies of that image that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 9 and click Apply. And you can see with just a click of a button, I have 9 of the same image duplicated on my canvas ready to cut. This is just a fast way to make multiple copies of the same image on your canvas. Did you know there's a quick way to shuffle through the canvas grid, whether you have grid lines or no grid lines? You can go up on the ruler between these 2 zeros is this empty box. If you click it once, you get full grid with 1 centimeter grid lines. Click it again, you get partial grid with 1 inch grid lines, and one more time and you're back to a blank canvas. This is just a fast way to change how your canvas appears with grid lines or without. Did you know you can change the background color of your canvas? Under the Layers menu on the bottom right, you'll find background color. If you click that color box, you get a pop-up window of material colors and you can select whatever color you like to work with. Why would you want to change your background color? One is personal preference, but another is when you're working with stickers. So if I select that flower and I go under Effects and I apply an offset, and I change that offset color to white, and then select all of that and flatten it, I can no longer see the background of my sticker. And I like to see that because I want to make sure that I do have my offsets applied and that my stickers are going to work perfectly. So in that case, I would go to background color and I would change it to a color where I could now see the outline of my offset. You can use background color with grid lines or without grid lines. Are there fonts that you like to work with more than others? If I select this word hello and I go under the font option across the top, I get a pop-up window of all the fonts that are in Cricut, and there are a lot there. If I click on System Fonts, you can see I have all the fonts that are on my system, and there are a lot there. You can also see Recents and Bookmarks. So these are the fonts that I have bookmarked that I use frequently. So if I want to go back to System and show you how to bookmark one, I could just scroll through my list until I find something I like, and this little bookmark icon, click on that, it turns green, and now when I go back to bookmark, you can see that font has been added to my bookmark list. So this is just a fast way to get to fonts that you use regularly. Let's talk about offsets and how we can use them to create different types of effects. So I have the word regular here, and I'm going to select it and go down to the bottom and click on Weld, Combine Weld, to make it one image. Then I'm going to go under Effects and click on Offset and apply a thin offset to it. Apply. So that's just a regular offset. Now let's take the word shadow here that's already been welded and go under Effects and then select Offset and apply an offset so that we can then give it a different effect. So I'm going to go with a 0.069 and click Apply. And now I can take that pink layer and I can move it around so that I get a different type of shadow effect with my offset. Now let's take a look at this one, the word outline, and we're going to go into Effects and Offset, and we'll apply again a thin offset to it. Now with that offset layer selected, I'm going to go back under Effects and go ahead and apply another offset the same thickness and click Apply. Then I'm going to select those last 2 offset layers that I created and go under Combine, Subtract. And now I have an outline effect. Then we're going to go ahead and open this one up, and this one's hollow. So now we're going to go ahead and apply another offset, the same size, doesn't matter. Then we're going to go ahead and select the offset and the word, and we're going to go under Combine, Subtract. 4 ways to use offset to create different effects. Now let's talk about collections and tags. Think of a collection as a folder that you keep your projects in to help you keep them organized by category, whether it's stickers, cards, mugs, or whatever you want. If you're a Cricut Access subscriber, you can create an unlimited number of collections, and if you aren't, you're limited to 5. And when you go to open a project, you can see all your collections or folders down the left side. Now tags are different. Tags are keywords you assign to a project to help you search for it later. Tags are a little bit tricky to find. Once your project has been saved and you go back to My Stuff and you select a collection or projects you want to work on, and let's say I want to work with this one here. I click on it once and I get all the information about that project, what images, fonts, and everything that were used for it. And down at the bottom here you have Edit Project Details. And when I click on that, I go to the bottom of the screen and you can see this is where you can apply tags. And right now I have baby and baby bottle. So if I go back to cancel this, and when I go back to My Stuff screen, and I type in the search box baby bottle and hit enter, I get that one project that has been tagged that way. So tagging just helps you to be able to find your projects a little bit faster. Let me show you how to apply a background image that you would find in the Cricut Design Space image library. So I've got this text here on my screen, and I'm going to go under Images on the left, and in the search box I'm going to type in background. And you see I get a full list of different types of backgrounds that are stored in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one here, and I'm going to take that image and I'm going to drop it on top of my text. Now you can see over here under layers that it's a print and cut image, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a sticker out of that text with this background. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag to select both the background and the text. And at the bottom here I'm going to go to Slice. Then I'll move that pattern background away and move this cut layer here. Get rid of these two, and you can see now I have text that has a background pattern applied to it. On the menu on the left, if you click on Layouts, you get a different set of layouts here. And if I select, let's say, a shirt, and I'll just say a child small, it gives me this outline of a t-shirt and allows me to place my pattern or my design so I get an idea how big to size it. But this is not going to print. It's in this pink color and it is called a guide, and guides don't print or cut. So I'm going to delete that guide, and I want to show you, I'll blow this back up to full size, that if I go under Shapes and select, let's say, a square, and I'll make it a little bit bigger than my butterfly, and go under Basic Cut and then go to Guide and click off of it, you can see I have a pink box. This box is just that, a guide that will not cut or print. Okay, so I put it over my butterfly here just to kind of give me an idea of how big maybe I'm making a card or how big I want to make that butterfly. But did you know if you go under Text and add text, let's say cut top layer in black cardstock and bottom layer in holographic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down a little bit and bring it down. Now, I don't want this to be part of my design that gets cut, so I'm going to go under Basic Cut and select Guide, and now it's also been turned to this pink color and will not be part of the print or the cut process, but it gives me a clue of how I want to make this project, or how I did make this project before and how I want to make it maybe in the future. This is just a helpful trick to help you remember down the road how you wanted to do something or how you made something in the past. When I'm working in Cricut Design Space, 90% of the time I'm working in the live version of the software. If I go up under my name on the top right and I click that drop down arrow and I go to Settings, under Design Space Settings and under the General tab, you will see your application experience, and you can see mine is set to live. This is where you can check for updates in the software and where you can switch to the beta version of the software. The beta version of the software is where Cricut has launched things, new things to the software that are in the test phase and not ready for production, so not ready for the live version yet. So you can go in there and you can play with it. Now when I go ahead and click on beta, it's going to tell me it's going to restart my software. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done. It's going to relaunch the software for me. And when it launches back up, you'll see that it says beta in the top right corner. And there it is. This is the beta version of the software. So if I go to start a new project, there may be things that are different here that I might not see in the production version of the software. So this is just a playground, if you will, to play with some new enhancements or new features before they actually go to the live version. To switch back to the live version, you simply go back to the drop down, go to Settings, and click Live, and it will again restart the application for you. Did you know that there are a whole list of Design Space keyboard shortcuts right on Cricut's website? And here it is right here. If you're that kind of person who likes to save time and not do as many mouse clicks, but to use keyboard strokes, this is a nice full list of everything that you can do within Cricut on both a Windows and a Mac computer. But I think that my favorite keyboard shortcut that is not on Cricut's list is to hold the Shift key down on my Mac plus the letter G, and it shuffles through grid settings. That's full grid, partial grid, and no grid. Full grid, partial grid, and no grid, just by holding the Shift key down plus G. I hope you found these tips helpful and you learned a few things. And if you've got some tips to share, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to be notified when new videos are released. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!